So that's why you may be hearing the AC cranked up. That's to kick some cold air on it, which is stupid. Because as soon as I turned that on, I went, ooh, I'm down now. It's a diva phone. Anyway, you want to have a plan, guys. You want to have a plan where you're actually going to be able to work with a team, because that's critical to me. Even with me being overseas, should not stop me from doing all the different things that I mentioned to you. And, you know, talking to my team, letting them know this is what the game plan is, this is what I plan on doing, has to be done so that way I can proceed forward. Now, I have my sister who's helping me as well, too. And she understands, because she's like, oh, when I'm going to get something to cut? I said, when you start talking to these people, I am. So, no. You hadn't talked to them yet till you got the notes from the course. Because one thing I would tell you this, guys, anything that you do, any new venture that you jumping into, unless it's something that's like totally never been thought of, you need to get a mentor who's been doing it for quite some time. I did that with my Airbnb. I'm doing that now with my ATMs. Car rental, I didn't have to necessarily do that because of the type of work I'm doing with the car rental. It's not really crazy, it's not the end of the world, but you got to take that in account. You don't want it to be like, well, you know, it's whatever, we don't have to worry about it, and blah blah this and that. You have to be able to capitalize on it. A lot of people won't tell you about that, but that's the true thing when it comes to growing your niche, growing yourself, growing your products, making sure that you get everything taken care of. Because this is not a microwave deal, right? Some people might be looking for a magic pill. There's no such thing as magic pill. Now, I believe in working smarter, not harder. I always thought that. I always knew that when I was in boot camp. You know, the gunny would tell us, we can get this done one of two ways. You can either do this smarter or do it harder. The choice is yours. And a lot of folks don't want to hear that, but a lot of us are working too hard at these jobs that don't see us but other than a number. They don't put any value in us or whatnot. So what came to mind is that, look, you can't work this job forever. And also, too, if something was to happen to you before the time of your departure, let's say you get hurt or some other issues come up in your, in your life, family, personal stuff, are you safely able to walk away from your job? What would you need to walk away from your job? That's the main thing that I aim at when talking to folks. What is your number for you to walk away from your job and never go back to it? Or what is the number that you need to replace that income or match that income? Because initially when you're doing these things, you're not just going to wake up one day and say, I quit, guys. You're going to have all your chess pieces on the board and you're going to put them in an area where it's going to do the right thing. It's not going to be put in an area where it's wrong or whatnot. You want to make sure that you're set up for success versus just, doing your own little thing and thinking nothing of it. So I make it important, I make it known that are the main things that you have to do as an entrepreneur. Again, you don't have to go in this alone. If you get into a group, like I have a group, when you get into coaching calls, you get into a mentorship session. For me, I'm talking to my mentor almost, I say 3 times a week, right? And I tell him this is what I plan on doing, this is the game plan, and he's like, okay, if you're going to do that, then this is what you're going to have to do. These are the things that you're going to have to set up and play. And I got to get his course. That's the only thing I told myself. I need to finish up with you and get your course. And of course, it does cost some money, but I look at it as it is a investment for me. It's not an expense, because your expenses, you going out to eat every day. Your expenses buying things that you don't need, things that cannot potentially make you money whatsoever. You buying you some, dinners every day or whatnot. How's that gonna make you money? Yes, you gotta eat, but you could just cook that food at home, right? You could have made that food at home. versus you buying like $50 meals every day. You know, you're going to poorhouse. Or you buying the latest fashion clothes every single time. You know, I'm not saying you need to walk around in rags or anything like that. But I'm not saying that you need to just sit there and blow your money. I look at things that could potentially make me money. Now, have they all made money? No. You are going to run into stuff like that. I remember joining 2 programs not too long ago, like I think 3 years ago. One program got shut down by the government because it wasn't that the man who was doing it was wrong. It was because the people that he put in charge were telling people crazy stuff. And you don't do that, right? You don't tell people to put their house up on a damn mortgage block, refinance, and things like that. And a lot of people are coming out the woodwork, and I won't mention the company. If you ever watch my videos, I talked about on YouTube. Other thing was a company. It was like, yeah, you can do this. You just gotta make these weird pictures and put them on Facebook. And my whole thing with Facebook, which I am on, is that they're very sensitive on what's posted. They pick who they want to pick when it comes to ads. I've seen ads that is flat out lies, and everyone knows it's a lie, but it's just getting propped up because I guess they put so much money in it. And for a small business starting off, you're not going to have unlimited taps of money unless you got business credit running through the yin-yang, which, again, that's another tool that you got to have. But it does take time to grow. Now, should it take you 10, 15 years to grow it? No. I say within a year's time, you should look back and see that, hey, this is significant progress. If you're coming into the game, excuse me, if you're coming in the game and you're like, okay, I'm supposed to make, you know, I'm starting off with this car rental thing, and I'm renting out these cars. I'm getting 4 cars on the market, right? I managed to get 4 cars on the market. I'm bringing in $28,000 that year. You can look back and say, yeah, that will work. $28,000 extra into whatever you got at your job will work. So then you get 4 more cars the following year, and you double that, right? You now putting yourself into a situation that can make you potentially a lot of money. So you're looking at $56,000. So that's not bad right there. And then you imagine you having, you know, we already say 4 cars, another 4 cars next year. You're doing it every year. And that's just for my little model that I have here, right, in my head. You could potentially keep growing and growing and growing and replace your income just along with that. And that's like with working low numbers with the thing that I'm dealing with now. And, you know, it ain't got to be no listing of a car or whatever. It's other companies that would do that for you. When you go down the pipeline, you get more cars and more cars, and you do more things. You get more options going. You get more investment tools going. And I'll be honest with you too, guys. For my community, for the Navy, they had an option to take the bonus money. I said I didn't want the bonus money. People are like, whoa, that's a statement. It's not a statement. Reason being, what if I replace the income by 5? So right now I'm making over $100,000 doing what I'm supposed to do for the Navy, right? I replace it by 5. You want to be able to walk away without anything holding you back, right? That's what's happening. That's what's going to happen. So I'm telling you guys, you got to have your options up. You got to be willing to let go of the little money, the blood money I call it, versus the big pot that's waiting dead ahead. True example, 𝐦𝐨𝐫𝐞 did the same thing. They offered him $50 million for the 𝐦𝐨𝐫𝐞 show for season 3. He walked away from it. You heard all the news, right? You know, oh, he's crazy. He went to Africa. He lost his mind, things like that. No. He saw what his value was. He knew he was worth more than $50 million. And as you see now, he's proven everyone that, right? He proved everyone he could do that. The Netflix specials, all these things that's going on. Everyone's talking about Dave, right? Same thing can happen for you. Don't get caught up with this little shenanigans that they may do at your job. then if you got to get the money, you got to get the money, right? But if you can hold out on the money because you know what you're about to do is about to launch, it's about to go well, you go for it. There's other avenues that I even haven't done yet. I'll talk to one of the folks that I'm networking with about a mastermind group, about just growing my group where it's just a group that you just grab people in and just put your products in there and they just grab them. I haven't finished that yet. And then you got YouTube. I use YouTube on a regular basis. I promote my stuff on YouTube to get everything out. That's not stopping anyone from the success of what's taking place. So I'm telling you guys right now, if you really want to make a difference in your life, you really want to be a true entrepreneur, you need to do a few things. I hope you're taking notes down. I hope you excuse the noise. I hope you can hear me too. But the main thing that you got to do first off is this. You got to be able to let go of the nonsense, right? Let go of the nonsense that's bringing you down. Any negative energy that's going to make you feel like you crap, or people are going to make you question your sanity, let them go. It ain't that simple. Let them go. Let them go. They're going to talk about you. They're going to talk behind your back. There ain't nothing that you can do. There's nothing that you can do other than be successful at what you're going to be doing. Go after the true thing. Have tunnel vision after it. Once you get those blinders on, it don't matter what they say. They can say whatever. You're going to prove them wrong. Your revenge is going to be your success. That's going to be your revenge. Because they want you to be stalled. If you're walking away from their system, they want you to be stalled. The second thing, or the third thing, the third thing that you want to do is to write down your goals. Write down all your goals that you want to have accomplished. Not this, 6 months from now, 1 year from now, 2 years, 3 years, lifetime. What you want to do before you walk off this planet, when you leave this planet. Write everything down that you can. That way, once you get that going, you got something to constantly look back at. You can do the look back picture. Like, okay, this is what I got to do. Where I'm at with this. Where I'm at with this. It's supposed to come up this year. And things would move. Things would be taken off the list and say, I no longer want to do that. Either because I've reached a certain age, which I don't use that one. I don't use that I've reached a certain age. I do things that I was doing when I was a child. And people just like, how do you do it? Because it's a spirit. It's a spirit. Number 4, get yourself around people who are like-minded. Now, you might be like, what do you mean, how to do it? Go into Facebook groups. Go into these Reddit posts. Go talk to people outside, like network events that's out in town, in your area. Get up with people. We're talking about money. We're talking about making money, about growing money, using the money they get and growing it. You don't necessarily have to use your money per se. You can use other people's money to make that happen. Don't let people tell you that it's not possible. Or you gotta wait so many years, you gotta suffer. That's bull. Number 5 is to be humble. Once you get to the top of where you want to be at, there's no need to sit there and be like, you all suck. You suck. No, I always believe in karma, right? What you put in is what you put out. So, I'm not sitting there saying get your ass kicked. They don't sit there and rub it in their face, be like, oh, look what I did. Oh, you can't do it. No, what I did at work, I don't tell people what I do. I don't tell people about my online business. I don't tell them about my car business. I don't tell them about none of that stuff. It's none of this. Why should I bring that up to them? It has nothing to do with work. As long as I go to work, I do my job. That's it, right? Because you do that, then people start trying to sidetrack you. That's just my honest opinion. People start sidetracking you. And once they sidetrack you, you now got to deal with this in your job. You don't want to do it. You want to have things going in motion in the background. Now, I'll take this example from Star Wars. I don't know how many of y'all are Star Wars fans. But Star Wars, if you go to episode 1 and talk about Palpatine, Lord Sidious. Now, he is the ultimate granddaddy of them all, of evil, in the Star Wars universe as far as the movies go. He sat there, act like he was this nice senator. Oh, kids. I would give the power back once the war's over with. The rise to power to create the galactic empire, right? The empire. Or empire, excuse me, empire. You gotta excuse my southern drawl. Empire. Anyway, got that all jacked up. The whole thing with him was that no one knew it was him, right? They just knew Palpatine and knew this one guy, Sidious, over here. Boy, they didn't even know about Sidious until later on. The Jedi knew of Sidious, right? At the very end, when he took over, it was too late. That's how you gotta be. You gotta be humble, nice at work. Don't talk about your job. In the background, when you get off of work, you're working. You put in extra hours. So you're putting in extra hours before you go to work on your business. Whether you're setting up a website, whether you're making calls, whether you're doing some training, whatever you got to do to get your ass through the door. You're pressing through. So when you're doing that, you know, people are not saying anything crazy to you, right? You're doing what you need to do. And it's funny because once you get in that position, you're going to be hyped. Oh, man. Like when I first start bringing in my checks for my car business, I was like, man, I was like, Only people I told was my business partners. I'm not telling anyone that worked with me in the Navy or anything like that, because it's none of their business. And then they start getting nosy, things like that. That's just my whole thing. You just do what you got to do. You do you, baby. You do you. And when you get to where you need to be, where it's comfortable, and they push you, push come to shove. But you say, I'm just here to get my benefits or get my retirement, or just do my thing for honor or whatever. If it comes to, well, I can't do this no more, and I got all this going on right here, and I'm doing this on a passive income level, doing over a passive income level, you can be good. Like I tell you about my friend Norman. He told him, he's like, you know what, I don't got to do this no more. I quit. Took his badge off, walked off. And they said, come back here, come back here. They didn't have anything on him because he already had his disability. He already worked for the government for over 30 years. He was just doing this for this little side money, just to be social. And he had other investments. He was just chilling. And they had no power. And it was so funny. He told me that. He come talk to me after he left a week later. And he's like, that. The reason I quit because they're not going to talk to me crazy. I don't need this job. I was just doing this just to be social, just to have some play money for my grandkids. And he was good. That's power right there, where you can walk off your job, don't have to worry about no repercussions or people trying to sit there, try to threaten, because that's what happens usually, job. You'll be out on the street, blah, 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 blah. Not necessarily. Right? Unless you know my finances, I'm far from that, you know. It's just a sweeter sensation that you can have money growing like that, growing bigger than what you're making at your current job. And you sitting on that, like that's like a classified UFO secret right there. And when you finally expose it after they push you to the curve, you know, they push you to a point where you're just like, well, I'll give you an example for me. They're like, oh, if you don't do this, you won't get promoted. You'll be stuck at this level. Okay. And they might look at you like you're crazy. And you say, okay, what do you mean? Don't you want them? Because the only reason you're getting a promotion is to deal with more bullshit, okay? Let's be honest. That's what you'll be dealing with. But when you're saying, okay, I'm okay with this because this ain't my main source anymore. This over here is making me $500K a year, $300, $500K a year because I got all these things wrapped up. I'm not worried. And I might be mad. They might cuss you out. But you can walk in there with a smile like, I'm not, when I go to sleep, I'm not worried about no bills. I'm not worried about people calling me about, hey, when you gonna make this payment? And you got all these car notes out here. I'm not struggling. I'm loving life versus suffering from life. And that's truly the power of wealth. That's what I tell people, but the why is. But don't tell anyone your secret. You know, don't tell the people you work with your secret. Be smart with it. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up because it's getting a little hot in here. I only wanted to talk to y'all because if I turn on the main air here, I turn on this main air, it's going to be very loud. I don't know if it's loud now because we're driving in a car, but we will talk here later on. Right now it's 12:10 where I'm at right now. I think I'm still in Central Time, and I'm making my way over. I'm going to have to get some gas here shortly, so I got to talk to you later, guys. Take care.